Hello again. Welcome to this video series, part of my Hospitality Intelligence and Analytics course. In this chapter, we are going to explore the data visualization and reporting. Let's start with a quick look at what we are here to talk about today. Data visualization. At its core, data visualization is simply the process of turning raw data into something visual, that something we can see and understand more easily, like charts, graphs, or dashboards. Now, we are surrounded by data, right? Every booking, review, or transaction generates information. But raw data doesn't help us make decisions until we organize it in a way that tell us what's really happening. That's where the visualizations comes in. It transforms all those numbers into visuals we can interpret quickly and use to make a decision. So what we can expect from this presentation in this chapter. First, to introduce you to key concepts of data visualization, what it is and how it works. Next, I will talk about different types of visualization you can use and the principles that make them effective, and also a little bit about the storytelling. Hopefully by the end of this session, you'll have an understanding of effective visualization. Let's talk about why data visualization is so important in hospitality tourism. This is an industry where decisions need to be made quickly and based on a lot of data. It doesn't matter, it's guest feedback, bookings, or sales numbers. Without clear way to see, understand that data, it is basically a missed opportunity. Data visualization helps simplifies that complexity. For example, a bar chart comparing revenue from rooms, like you have a bar chart showing the rooms, dining, and spa services. So you can quickly show which areas needs attention. Visualization also makes it easier to identify patterns, trends, and opportunities. Say like hotel manager might not have to analyze spreadsheets full of numbers. Instead, a line graph showing occupancy rates across months makes it clear when the busiest and slowest times are. So they can plan accordingly to staff or if needs promotion, marketing, etc. It also improves communication within the teams. Like showing a simple pie chart of guest spending in a staff meeting helps everyone to understand where to focus their efforts. A line chart, for example, can reveal seasonal trends in bookings, like spikes during the summer vacations, right? A pie chart can help, say, restaurants to show how much revenue comes from different dine-in versus takeout. I mean, of course, this is kind of others, events, spa, rooms, but just to give you an idea. Heat map might show which areas of, for example, nature park visited most, so helping managers to make adjustments. Before we talk about principles of visualization, let's look at the role of perception and how humans process data visually. Visuals are incredibly powerful because of our brains wired to process images much faster than the text or numbers. When we look at data as visual, like charts or graphs, our brain quickly identifies patterns, trends, and outliers. Shapes, colors, and layouts make it easier to understand the story behind the numbers. For example, we just did, with a color-coded map, you can instantly spot which regions have the most tourists, right? So when you design effective visuals, that's reduce cognitive load. Basically, they make it easier to think. Instead of analyzing numbers row by row, good design focuses your attention on the most critical insights. To create effective visualization, we start with the 5 key principles. Clarity, simplicity, relevance, integrity, and consistency. Now, clarity and context ensure your visuals are easy to understand by providing necessary background. For example, labeling axes and adding titles can make a chart instantly clear, right? You know what you are looking at. Simplicity is about avoiding clutter. Cleaner your design, the easier it is for your audience to focus on the key messages. Sometimes you see like dozens of different things in the graph and you're still trying to understand what I'm looking at. Relevance means tailoring the visualization to the audience needs. Like use a bar chart for comparison and line charts for trends. Like choosing the right chart helps the data to tell a story. Also, depending in the even in the complexity and other issues, and depending on your audience level. Are you talking with your team? Are you talking with the executives and etc.? Integrity is essential. We're gonna give an example in the next few slides later, but you need to avoid misleading visuals like exaggerated axes because trust is everything when presenting data. Finally, consistency keeps everything visually aligned. When you use the same colors, fonts, and labels across visuals, it is much easier for your audience to understand and compare. I mean, if you show the basic example, but if you show the like room price red in one pie chart and blue in the other chart, is going to create confusion. Now, building on those principles, we have 5 more to complete the list: hierarchy, interactivity, aesthetics, accessibility, and privacy. Now, hierarchy means directing the viewer's focus to the most important insight. You can use size, color, or position to highlight the key data points, like emphasizing the highest revenue bar in a chart, right? Interactivity allows users to explore the data. Now, this is not very common for simple data, but in dashboards, with filters and zoom features, managers can dive deeper and uncover actionable insights in real time. Aesthetics also matter. We talked about a little bit earlier, but clean, professional visuals with balanced colors and spacing keep your audience engaged and ensure the message is clear. Accessibility also is important because it ensures inclusivity, right? You need to use high contrast colors, readable fonts, and designs that work for all viewers, including those with visual impairments. If the person is colorblind and if you don't use the correct colors, that person is not going to be able to see what you are trying to show. Finally, privacy is critical. When handling sensitive or personal data, always follow the regulations and anonymize information where needed. So that is also important. Let's talk about different types of data visualization, starting with the basics. Like basic charts and graphs, like bar charts, line graphs, and pie charts are simply and highly effective. For example, a bar chart comparing room revenue versus spa revenue can show which area is performing better. There's also relationship and comparison visualization, such as scatter plots on bubble charts are great for showing a relationship. Like scatter plot might reveal how room rates influence guest satisfaction. I mean, in this plot, of course, it's not, but just to give you an idea. Similarly, bubble charts can show you also location, also the size of the things you are looking at. Now, next one is distribution visualization, like histograms or box plots show how data is spread. For example, you can use histogram to see how check-in times vary across the day. Next one is the geographic visualization. Focus on location-based data. Heat maps, for example, which we've seen basic one earlier, or close-up maps perfect for showing tourist activity hotspots or regional occupancy rates. There is all kind of different. Now, if you continue, more advanced visualization types, time series visualization like line charts or area charts are ideal for tracking trends over time. For example, you can visualize how monthly occupancy rates change across seasons or how revenue grows year over year. Hierarchical visualization are perfect for showing data with multiple levels. Tree maps or sunburst charts allow you to drill down into details. For instance, a tree map can show how total hotel revenue broken down by rooms and dining and events in this example. Now, network visualization are great for mapping relationships. A network graph might show the connection between suppliers, partners, or booking channels. That helps managers to understand complex businesses and relationships. Basically, in the end, it depends what do you need, right? So, the last couple of example is text-based and interactive visualization. Now, text and document visualization focus on analyzing textual data. Word clouds in this example and sentiment analysis charts are great for summarizing guest reviews or feedback. For example, word cloud might highlight the most common words in customer reviews like clean, friendly, or slow service. And last things, we are going to look at the interactive and dynamic visualization. This kind of what we call the dashboards like Power BI help you to drill down features so that you filter data by time, location, or category, and also you can see multiple things at the same place. And also when there is a change, assuming that is programmed to get data automatically, the graph is changed and it depends on the change in the data as well. So these are, like I said, all kind of different graphs that you can use. Most likely you're going to use a lot of basic ones, but if there is a need, you can utilize. Once again, this is not an exhaustive list, right? There are some examples we are giving here. Now that we covered the basics of effective visualization and also show you some of the examples, different graph examples, let's look at some of the tools you can use to create them. These tools range from simple spreadsheet software to advanced programming libraries. Like I said, due to the structure of this course, we are not going to go in very detailed or very advanced tools, but overall, the most common one is the spreadsheets and analysis software, right? It's like Microsoft Excel. And Google Sheets are perfect for simple charts and tables. These tools are widely accessible and ideal for quick insights, such as creating bar charts, we gave some examples earlier. Far more advanced visualization is the programming language and libraries like Python and R. The reason I specifically select, especially you can see the Python here, one of the program I did, is free. You can freely download. And they unmatched customization they offer, like Python's Matplotlib and Seaborn, as well as the R's ggplot2, allow you to create highly detailed and complex visuals. And these are very helpful. And last things is, like I said, last time I did, it was free. I don't know how it's right now, but this is an example from Power BI. Business intelligence and dashboard tools, like I said, there's a Tableau, Power BI, and ClickView, for example. These are designed for creating interactive dashboards. These platforms let you connect the large data sets and visualize real-time KPIs, key performance indicators like tracking daily occupancy rate or revenue streams in a hotel. Like I said, it depends on your needs. You need to understand that creating effective data visualization requires careful planning. Let's start with the 4 key steps. First, understanding your audience is critical. You need to tailor your visualization to their needs and knowledge level. I mean, for example, executives might prefer high-level summaries while analysts will look for detailed breakdowns, right? Second is the defining clear objective That way you ensure your visualization has a purpose. You are not putting for the graphs visuals out there the sake of putting it there. There has to be some purpose. Are you trying to show trend over time? Are you trying to compare performance, which we're going to talk about storytelling in a minute, but or highlight anomalies? Being clear about your goals will guide your design choice. Third, selecting correct visual representation is a key. Different data calls for different chart types. I give you an example. Like bar chart works well for like comparing departmental revenues, while line graph is better for showing seasonal booking trends. So you need to understand those different types. That's what we are trying to do here. And fourth one is the optimizing data simplification and summarization. This makes your message clearer. Too much data can overwhelm the audience. Right? If you get like 100 different things in the data, it's going to be confusing. They're going to try to understand. So you need to focus on key data points by using aggregation. Then, if you need it, there is a filtering or summaries that highlight what matters most, but especially the dashboards, then they can go into more deep into different kind of analysis, selecting different kind of options there. But overall, you have to be simple, focus on whatever you wanna, whatever your goal is, whatever you wanna try to achieve. Now let's look at the next steps in the creating effective visualization. One is the applying visual design principles, right? Once again, use clarity, simplicity, hierarchy to guide attention. For instance, highlight key insight with bold text or contrasting colors. Enhancing data interpretation with interactivity makes your visuals more powerful, assuming you have doing in the dashboard. Like in dashboard, users explore data bar. They can explore data, they can filter specific details, uncover insights. So there are basic, like the name implies, is interactive. Interact with whatever you want to do. You need to add context and annotations to ensure your audience understand what they are looking at. You should always include titles, labels, and notes. For example, to animate the graph to explain spikes in bookings due to holiday or promotion, right? So you're basically giving direction to them. What is this about? What are you looking at? So you have to get all those information there. Finally, iterative testing and refinements helps you improve your visuals. This is of course come from experience, right? You need to test your designs with your audience and adjust based on feedback. If chart isn't clear or engaging, you need to tweak your design or choose a different representation, because what you think right might be right for other people. You should always work on it to find the best optimal visualization solution. This is very important. While it's not exactly maybe part of the visualization, but good data visualization tells a story. Combining visuals with a narrative helps people to understand the data, connect with it, and take action. After all, people remember stories, not just numbers, right? When they look at the visuals, they need to also understand the story behind it. So when you combine data and visuals into a story, it creates meaning. Instead of just showing a chart with declining bookings, a story explains why it is happening and what needs to be done. This makes the message more memorable and actionable. Overall, every data story has three parts. In an introduction, you need to set the context. For example, our occupancy rates have been declining for the last 3 months. Okay? Then you go to body, use visuals to represent the insight, show a line graph of declining occupancy and identify the reasons like competition, seasonal, there's a promotion from competition, there's a seasonal demand or customer preferences, comparing with of course, your competitive set, right, for example. And in the conclusion, of course, is a good business analytics using visuals. You need to end with a a clear message and solution. For example, by adjusting our pricing strategy or targeting specific guest segments or doing a promotion, whatever you can think of that, I'm just making up this, we can increase booking by 15%. So you do introduced, you show visuals, like, you present the insights, then offer some kind of solution. Ethics is very important. Now, while visuals can simplify and enhance understanding, they come with the responsibility to present information accurately, transparently, and fairly. Now, accuracy and honesty is of course, the first principle, right? Misleading visuals, like, I'm just going to give you an example in a minute, like starting the y-axis at a higher value or exaggerating data differences can distort the truth. Let me see. Look at this chart. If you didn't, if assuming there was not a lot of information, when you look at the first, if I say, what is the difference between two graphs, and you might say the value B increased a lot in the graph B. In the second graph, right? Value B is increased a lot. In reality, this is the exact same graph. One is starting from 0, other starting from 7, just to show visual effect in a sense. But there is nothing wrong with this using the second graph, but you should be honest about it. Hey, this is the first graph, but let's go into detail. If you kind of zooming in the graph, right? You're going to zoom in the graph, then you can see the difference, kind of approach. So this is why it's very important. If you don't mislead, and if you always talk honestly, you are not going to have problems. That is very important. Now, in hospitality and tourism, we talk about this in data governance as well, but we often handle sensitive guest data, such as personal information, preferences, or feedback. Ethical visualization means protecting this data and be assuring that you are following the guidelines, laws, whatever in the district you are living in, the state you are living in, or federal level. You should be always to ensure privacy legally and also to protect your brand, right? You should always be sure that you are not protecting yourself only from the law, but you're protecting your guests as well. Transparency also builds trust. I just give you some examples. You need to clearly state your data sources and disclose any assumptions or limitations. For instance, if you are showing guest satisfaction data, explain whether it came from surveys, review, or a mix of both. Being upfront ensures viewers can trust what they see. This is also important. You cannot just make up some, or even if you didn't make up, you can selectively go and collect satisfied people's data, then assume that everything is fine. You have to be sure you are transparent where this data comes from, and you are fair, accurate, and honest in all these things. We talked a little bit about earlier, but lastly, ethical visualization about inclusion. Design visuals are accessible to everyone, including those with visual impairments. Use high contrast colors, avoid relying solely on a color to convey meaning, and add alternative text or labels for creativity. This is the same example with just different colors. While data visualization is powerful, it is to make mistakes that reduce its effectiveness. Let's highlight some of the most common pitfalls and how to avoid them. You can have too much or too little information. One of the biggest mistakes is trying to show too much at once. Just to give you an idea, overloading a chart with too many data points, colors, or labels create confusion instead of clarity. For example, a bar chart comparing revenues across 20 categories will overwhelm the viewer, right? Instead, Focus on the most important data and simplify the design. Too many categories, like in this case, I don't remember, it was a 20, I believe, making it hard to follow. Overlapping data set with similar values, excessive grid lines, unnecessary text labels for each bar, small rotated text that adds to visual clutter. Okay. Misleading design. I just give you an example, right? Misleading visuals can happen when axes are distorted or scales are inconsistent. For example, starting a y-axis at a value other than 0 can exaggerate changes and mislead viewers. Always ensure that your visuals present the data accurately and ethically. And also, an important thing is ignoring the audience. Finally, a visualization must be tailored to its audience. If your audience isn't that data savvy, complex scatter plots or technical charts will only confuse them, right? So you have to always consider who you are presenting to and what level they have. In last slides, we are talk about the emerging trends. Data visualizations continues to evolve, and there are exciting trends emerging that make visualization even more powerful and insightful. I guess I talked about several times in different chapters, but artificial intelligence is transforming data visualization by enabling predictive analytics. Imagine a dashboard that doesn't just show current occupancy rate, but also predicts future demand based on historical data, weather patterns, or events. For example, AI can forecast a spike in bookings during a music festival, allowing managers to adjust pricing or staffing in advance. Also, even if you don't know programming and other things, there are some tools like you can go ChatGPT. I want to do this kind of stuff. The reason I am not trying to rely, I'm warning you about not relying too much on ChatGPT, because it still makes a lot of mistakes and hallucination, all kind of issues. You should always rely on your ability, use them as a supporting tools. Be sure about that, please. Another major trend is the real-time dashboards, right? Power BI example I was giving. These dashboards pull in live data, giving managers up-to-the-minute insights. For example, a real-time occupancy dashboard allows the hotel to monitor available rooms, cancellation, and booking as they happen, because of all the technology we are using right now. And finally, personalized visualization allows users to see exactly what they need. For example, general manager might want the high-level revenue trends, while department head might need detailed data on staffing or guest feedback, right? So it depends. You need to, because we have a tools right now, we can create more personalized visuals depending on the needs. So once again, thank you for watching.